Yeah, so I'm sitting in the studio today, and these two weird Frenchmen over there going through all my guitars. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little worried, but they work for Boucher, so I guess I'm all right.
Guitar Stuff with John.
Welcome to another episode of Guitar Stuff with John. I'm John. He's not.
No.
He's Robin friggin' Boucher. That's who that is, right there.
Hi, guys.
Hey. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, too.
I'm so excited.
Listen, you guys have watched this channel for, going on 3 years now. And if you haven't hit subscribe, now's the time to hit it right now because, damn, we got him sitting right there. And I've talked about him. So much in the last 2.5 years, and well, actually the last 7, since I've been playing your guitars. And it's absolutely mind-boggling the work that Robin does as a luthier, as a supporter of Canadian talent, and just as a general human being. What this man accomplishes each day is just unbelievable. And so one of the biggest questions that I field, and you do, I think, as well, in my conversations with you guys and everybody I meet on the road is, number one, I think we should say this because it's fun.
Yeah.
One, why are the guitars called Geese? Why are they Studio Goose, Bluegrass Goose, Heritage Goose? And I just found out last night that where Robin lives, near Montmagny, is the capital of the world for snow geese. They come there, they migrate there. There's a festival about them.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. It always struck me when I saw the name Goose on these guitars that it was a Canadian thing, Canada Goose, right? And I always thought that's awesome. So this makes it even more important. Right from where you're from is where the idea comes from. But again, representing Canadiana in every way you can. So one of the main questions that I get from talking to you and all the people I talk to on the road is, what's the difference between a studio goose and a bluegrass goose? The confusion, I think, comes from people, like, obviously they know, you can guess what a bluegrass goose is, right? It's going to be a dreadnought that tears your face off. But what exactly is a studio goose, you may ask? So we actually have 2 of my guitars, which we're going to take a close look at. So you can see, and one of these, Boo Boo, is what? She's 6 years old or more? 6, 7 years?
I would say 6, yeah.
And then one of my later Bouchers, known as the Rocket, which is a bluegrass goose. We're going to take a close look at those 2 guitars in my collection to show you the aesthetic differences, the tone differences, and all that. And we're going to start with that exactly, tone. So this is the first guitar that I got from Robin. That was a dreadnought. This is Boo Boo, and she is a studio goose.
Yeah.
And this is what she sounds like. Sweet and fat as a pancake. Then if you grab my Rocket, which is a bluegrass goose, both of these guitars are, no, that's not rosewood, is it? That one's
It's mahogany.
That's mahogany.
Yeah.
This is rosewood. Obviously, there's going to be a tonal difference there too, but this guitar is built for power. There's the temper. Good Lord Almighty. You can immediately see the difference in both guitars. One, has a massive point in the mid, probably 1.5 times louder than Boo Boo, I'd say.
That's our goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to your knowledge of how to voice these things, right? You take a lot of time to figure out how to build these to make them sound exactly the way you want. None of this is by accident. That's the amazing thing about his guitars. There's no accidents here. Sometimes there might be a happy one every once in a while, some minute thing. But the guitars are so well planned, and they deliver exactly what they're supposed to deliver. So what we're going to do now, just to lay to rest any other questions about the instruments, is we're going to take a close-up look at these guitars, and this time I'm not going to say nothing in my description segment of this video, because guess what? The guy who built them is right there. Oh, and also, the head of sales and marketing is here too, Guillaume de Silva. Where's Guillaume?
Well, yeah. My God!
Parkour! Jesus.
What's going on?
Guillaume de Silva.
Always there on time.
He made it. He did make it. It's true.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the guitars. So here we are with the two guitars, the Studio Goose on the left, the Bluegrass Goose on the right. These are from my own collection. You just heard them. Boo Boo on the left there, as I've said many times, is a very famous guitar. I go to shows now and people ask if I have her with me that night. And these are very different looking guitars because of the sunburst, of course. And they're different woods altogether. So Boo Boo has the notched headstock, which I am very fond of, nickel hardware. This is micarta on this guitar, or tusk. The standard Martin fret markers. And the back and sides are mahogany, which I think adds to the character and the warmth of this instrument tremendously. And you see how beautiful the grain is in that. And of course, I have to show the Boo Boo. There it is, right there. You can barely see it. There it is. Oh. There it is, right there.
You're not obligated to show it.
But I always
Reminds Robin every single time.
every time I often, that's become a fidget, a doo-doo for me. that thing, I'll be on stage and I'll reach around and just touch that little hole and I feel like I'm shaking Robin's hand. On the right-hand side, we have the guitar that I lovingly call the Rocket, which is shades of what would come to be in the bluegrass world of Boucher guitars. It has the standard squared-off head, nickel hardware, bone in saddle and nut, the small markers, an Adirondack torrefied top, abalone rosette, herringbone trim, koa bound.
This one is Koa bound because it has a master grade pack.
Right.
So this is the BG52 GM, which is bluegrass, rosewood back inside, gold pack, master grade pack. And this is why it has koa bindings, the body's bound with koa, and it has an abalone rosette.
This wood, like the tone wood that Robin chooses, is just ridiculous. It's just so beautiful. Color matched neck. And there you go. So there's my two. But the ones I'm really excited about are the ones we showed you, that we're going to show you actually right now, which are two of the new Bouchers that will knock your socks off. But there they are. There's Boo Boo.
Bube?
Studio Goose, designed for the comfort of the microphone. And the Rocket, the Bluegrass Dreadnought. The best one I've ever owned in my life, right there. Okay, so there you go. There was a close-up look at what I consider vintage Bouchers that belong to me. So now we're going to take a look at a pair of modern Bouchers. Also, a Studio Goose and a Bluegrass Goose. The Studio Goose is much like Boo Boo, except this one has a torrefied top and no sunburst. It is rosewood instead of mahogany. A beautiful rosewood too, Indian rosewood.
And actually, JP, it has the vintage pack.
Right.
So that's why,
The
the
nickel
headstock,
tuners,
yeah.
the nickel tuners,
Yeah.
and the squared off head,
Yeah.
which is something that Boo Boo doesn't have. Boo Boo has the old notched head. And this guitar is stellar. It's unbelievable. Strung with lights and braced for studio voicing,
yeah.
right? So much like Boucher, Boo Boo, but also more advanced. I can hear where you've cooked this recipe even better. And this guitar is like 10 days old. Something like that, 2 weeks.
Well, something like that. Something like that.
2 weeks old.
So of course, the Terrified Tops is very helpful to get that sound.
Exactly. I can barely stop playing it. Just want to keep playing it, keep playing it. But it embodies everything that the studio Goose is supposed to. It's just got this beautiful, rich, loud, warm tone that's every note on the guitar is round, and the microphone loves it, as you can probably tell by hearing this. As I said before, your guitars don't sound like in the room, like they sound over a mic, because they're so well made. There's another personality that comes out of the guitars. This guitar sounds unbelievable in the room, but over this microphone, it's another world again. There's something else going on. It loves the diaphragm of a microphone. So that is the modern Studio Goose, made out of Indian rosewood, all bound in maple, herringbone, torrefied Adirondack top, and with the vintage package, which includes the nickel open back tuners and just
Square headstock.
and a square headstock. Yeah, beautiful guitar. So now we're going to look at the modern Bluegrass Goose. This guitar is made out of Madagascar rosewood. Look at the grain in that guitar. It's just unbelievable. It's so deep and look at the sides.
Well,
Man, oh man, it's so beautiful. Now, Madagascar is a wood that's sought after almost as much as Brazilian now, because I think it's better than Brazilian because it's not as prone to cracking as Brazilian was. And
yeah.
I don't think it does.
Consistency of the
Yeah,
quality.
exactly. The consistency of the pieces that he finds, he can get more sets out of a single log than you might get out of a single Brazilian log, right?
Got it.
So this guitar, also, which pack is this? The gold pack?
Yeah, the gold pack.
This is the gold pack.
Yeah.
That's indicated, of course, by the gold open back tuners, squared off headstock, vintage style.
And the Terrified Top.
And the torrefied top, again, 4+ Adirondack top. And this guitar, unlike the Studio Goose, is braced a different way for high volume pressure. And listen to it ringing, me talking. At high pressure and a really pleasant mid spike that puts you on top of banjos, mandolins, upright basses, and strung with mediums. Now, I don't use mediums, but this guitar I could play all day because the action on these guitars are fabulous, even with medium strings. Oh. Just the middle of it. It's like a motorcycle starting. If you see us smiling, it's because that's what I call the Boucher temper. Most guitars, you have to flat the B string to make all chords be in tune, but Bouchers are different. You have to sharp the E. I don't know. It's a secret.
Yeah. A well-kept secret.
A well-kept secret. It's got the richness. Yeah, it's right in your face. So it's a lot like a Studio Goose, but it's just got way more power. There's more color and depth to the mid-range than the Studio Goose. That's what that guitar is supposed to be used for, right there. Bluegrass, up the yin-yang. So there it is. There's the Bluegrass Goose, the modern version of the Bluegrass Goose. And as I said many, many times before on this channel about this man whom I love with all my heart. I couldn't do my job without him. This guy never, ever stops trying to perfect what he's doing. Evolution is the key, right?
Yeah.
He told me that yesterday, and it's true. These guitars, while they're slightly different because they're a more modern version of what he's done, are just as incredible as the guitars that I own that are 6 and 7 years old. You can just see the progression as they become more and more and more refined and more perfected. And the color, the volume, the tone, everything grows. The longer he builds guitars, the better they get. So I want to take a close look at these two. And we're going to utilize, once again, our friend, the head of sales and marketing. And I think he's going to walk in this time, Guillaume de Silva. Hey, Guillaume, you ready? You all right? Do you need a crutch or a wheelchair or a knee pad? Knee pads? No?
I might need surgery.
Surgery?
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah. So, if you can probably tell, we're quite enjoying this. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But anyhow, I know you guys want to see this stuff close up, and you will, and we're going to tell you all about it right now. So here we are taking a close look at the modern Studio Goose and Bluegrass Goose. On the left is the Studio right there, and on the right is the Bluegrass Goose. So as you can see from looking at them, they virtually look the same. There's a few aesthetic differences, but not much. So
and that is due to the fact that the Studio Goose on the left, the SG52, has a vintage pack. So
yes,
it's equipped with the vintage pack. The vintage pack allows you to get that square headstock design, the open gear tuners, and the torrefied top.
yes.
So if you love that looks, that's the way to get a Studio Goose that has that playability, but you get the more traditional look.
Yeah. And the Bluegrass Goose has
And
the gold pack.
The Bluegrass Goose is similar because this one has a gold pack. It's the BG152. This one has the gold pack, so that's why it has gold tuners, and it has the torrefied top. A couple of other differences you can see right away. The main ones that will always stick are the fact that the fretboards have a different inlay. So on the left, you have the Studio Goose with the 5mm mother of pearl inlays.
Which is very traditional, too. It's very Martin.
Yeah.
It's the old guitars all had those. And
So all studios have those, and then on the Bluegrass we chose the 2mm mother of pearl with the B at the 12th fret. The B being reminiscent or connecting to the whole Bluegrass and Boucher obviously theme.
So if we take a close look at these guitars, they are very stunning. All abalone there, inlaid. There's no stickers in these guitars, boys.
And these ones, since it's a vintage pack, you also get the open gear tuners, nickel all the time.
Yep. And this is micarta on this.
This one is Tuss. No, this one, since it's the vintage pack, it's actually bone.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so
This
it's
is
part
bone.
of the package. So you again will resemble the stats of the Bluegrass, the specs of the Bluegrass.
Look at the grain in the Adirondack. Oh, man.
Quadruple
Yeah.
torrefied, ebony bridge, obviously on all Boucher guitars.
And bone there. Herringbone rosette.
Yes.
Herringbone trim. Beautiful.
Maple bound.
And then, yes,
With maple.
I love the maple binding on Boucher's. It's incredible. Look at that. So this guitar is East Indian rosewood. Tremendous grain in that as well. As usual, these guitars are very reflective.
And this an interesting thing too is always we always try to match the color of the mahogany necks to the body. So it's interesting to potentially show the fact that the necks are
It is, isn't it?
tinted.
Yeah, we put a shade on the neck, you know, in order to match the color of the body.
Yep.
Yeah,
Look at that.
because it is a one-piece mahogany neck,
Wow.
color mesh to match the East Indian rosewood.
Yeah, and the necks on these guitars are to die for. That's one of the things I love about my Boo Boo, is how playable that guitar is. It's incredible. So if we move now over to what seemingly looks like a twin, it is not. In fact, is braced entirely differently. It sports medium gauge strings, bone nuts, bone saddle, all around here on both guitars.
It's set up higher too.
It is, but you hardly notice it.
It's
The way it is, it's the playability is identical. I think on these two guitars, incredible action on this guitar, even for medium strings. So we have, of course, the gold pack includes these beautiful tuners.
And now we made it also available for people to order nickel if they prefer nickel finished tuners.
Right.
But standard comes with gold tuners. So it's possible to see guitars equipped with the gold pack that have nickel tuners.
Right.
So this is all a preference.
Again, that wicked Adirondack. My God, it's a beautiful top.
And this is a good moment to mention the fact that this one has a larger sound hole.
Yes.
5 millimeter larger than the studio, so 105 total.
Yep.
And this makes it easier for you to aim at a mic when you're on stage in a typical bluegrass setup. When you have to aim at a mic, you go in the front, you play your solo, you have a larger surface to aim at the mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, in my own experience, in large sound holes, remove some material from the top, which could actually be one of the reasons why this guitar has such a beautiful mid-range. Because the Studio Goose, of course, has a regular size sound hole, and is warmer because that little bit of material, right?
Yeah, you're right, JP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really smart, and I think it's smart that you didn't go all the way like this gigantic oversized sound holes. They don't make a lot of sense to me, right?
Yeah.
But this again, I could cite 100 times when I've seen your mathematics.
Yeah, actually, it's a hair displacement affair.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's all physics and mathematics.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's amazing. Now, I got to show this too. Oh, I love that. The B. The stylized B. Even if you don't see the headstock, you know you're playing a Boucher with that. And of course, all bound in maple as the other guitar, herringbone trim.
Yeah, Koa is optional, as some people start to notice on when their guitars are equipped with the master grade pack. This one is equipped with maple, and this one is the BG152, which is an indication that it has Madagascar rosewood back and sides. G again going because of the fact that it's equipped with the gold pack, as we mentioned before.
And
then
look at the Madagascar in this.
and it's a very popular tone wood. It's awesome.
Look at the. There's just so much detail in it. There's little tiny paintings all over the back of different. You can see everything in there. Just incredible.
A lot of details, and the grain is
really straight.
really straight.
Yep. And look at the nice
Very rare
maple
on
strip.
Madagascar.
Maple strip right down the back.
And again, we color match the neck.
Color match the neck and the body. There again, you see, beautifully matched mahogany neck. So these two guitars are going to pretty well encompass anything you could possibly want to do as a guitarist. If you're a bluegrasser or a session musician or a folk musician, singer-songwriter, like the type of guitar you want that has all that beautiful warmth and clarity you have your Studio Goose. If you need the powerhouse, the extra few decibels, the extra few
The extra volume.
yeah, and the extra little bit of mid and penetration that this guitar has.
Yeah.
These two instruments, while looking very similar, are very different, and they're designed for two different purposes, and they're designed incredibly well. It's just they're so well thought out and voiced so well. Congratulations, Maestro. You made a couple of nice babies right there. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, ready. Fromage.
Vraiment.
Vraiment? Lapin.
Lapin.
Lapin, ça monte.
Aujourd'hui.
Ça, demain.
Cruising boat.
Cruising boat.
Nice.
All right.
I love it.
So there we go, boys. There's a look at 4 unbelievable guitars. This man is not because he's sitting here, because he's never been sitting here, and I've said this before, builds the best guitars in the world right now. That title may slide as somebody comes forward around him, or God knows what will happen. You might stay there for years, but you're doing the best ones that are being built right now, I can tell you that. And it's a cyclical thing, isn't it? Builders grow, change, evolve, new things come, then stuff changes again. It's ever changing. And it's changing, I think, even quicker now because so many people are playing guitar. And you make it really easy to play guitar, especially good ones. Special thanks to my brother Guillaume de Silva.
Hi, guys.
And
Thank you,
we're
Jacob.
going to end, yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to end the show with this awesome Madagascar Rosewood Bluegrass Goose Boucher guitar. Just one of the most brilliant, beautiful instruments that I've ever had my hands on. If I didn't have 10 guitars already from Robin, I would probably buy this one. But I'm not going to. This guitar needs to go into the arms of a waiting person that's going to pick it up, and their life is going to be forever changed when they hear and feel the inspiration that comes from a Boucher guitar. I've seen it 100 times. This one is flat out get it. They can get it. This will do that every time. See you next time on Guitar Stuff with John. Hit subscribe, hit the like button.
Hit subscribe.
Go check out Guillaume and Robin
and JP
and all these things.
and all these guys
And
all these.
Boucher. Boucher. That's it.